item number 24.
All right. So on a similar subject, emergency water restrictions to achieve 15% voluntary conservation. So you just saw this table in terms of our water sources. Here's our annual allotment on paper, 30,800 acre feet. Our projected 2021 allocation / utilization. So this isn't necessarily the total water available to us. This is what we're expecting to utilize is 15,370 acre feet. So on July 8th, Governor Newsom issued Executive Order N-10-21 expanding the state of emergency to 50 counties. And here's a couple of quotes from that executive order. There's growing concern that while many water agencies have enough water supplies to serve customers for 2021, including Yuba City, there may be a need to severely restrict water consumption in 2022 if California has another dry winter. Rather than take a wait-and-see approach, the state is recommending action to begin voluntarily reducing water consumption. Staff supports the call for voluntary conservation as the city has limited supplies available during the peak time of year in the summer and limited state water project contract carryover water to supplement the North Yuba Water District and SWP contract supplies during that time. Conserving the state water project contract carryover water to the extent practical will extend the city's ability to use it in 2022 and beyond should the drought continue. So for information purposes, going into summer of 2021, the city has 4,900 acre feet of carryover water available. With the projected utilization of 2,918 acre feet in 2021, there will only be about 2,000 acre feet available for 2022. So to the extent that we can start to conserve water now, it just helps us to conserve that carryover water, which provides us that additional insurance policy should we have another dry winter. So measures that were identified in Governor Newsom's executive order are to irrigate landscapes more efficiently, so water 1 day less per week, do not water during or immediately after rainfall, water during the cooler parts of the day, and use a weather-based irrigation controller. Run dishwashers and washing machines only when full, find and fix leaks, install water-efficient shower heads and take shorter showers, and use a shut-off nozzle on hoses and take cars to commercial car washes that use recycled water. So per the recently adopted water shortage contingency plan, a 15% voluntary conservation fits into stage 2, which is our water warning. And so the city's prohibited water uses are allowing water to run off unused into a gutter, failing to repair a controllable leak, washing sidewalks, driveways, or other paved areas, utilizing a handheld hose without an automatic shutoff nozzle, irrigating during a precipitation event. So a lot of these things align with the governor's executive order. Now this next bullet, however, under stage 2, requires that we enforce outdoor irrigation restrictions, including limiting the number of water days per week and time when irrigation can occur. So staff is recommending to not implement this particular bullet associated with stage 2, but rather go with what's in the executive order in terms of encourage people to water 1 less day per week and not get into specific, you can only water these days. Also in regard to the failing to repair a controllable leak, we are nearly done with converting the entire city to cellular water meters. If customers sign up to access their accounts online, they can view their water usage in real time, and they can also get leak alerts in real time. And so that gives them the ability to see that they have a water leak and then address it in a much quicker manner than we've had with the previous radio read meters. So for an outreach campaign, we will promote the city's rebate program for water smart toilets, shower heads, and irrigation controllers, notify customers of the voluntary conservation measures identified in the executive order and of the city's prohibited water uses, encourage customers to sign up online to access their cellular water meter account, provide additional tips to conserve water. And one of the things is that Yuba Water Agency just reached out to us to see if we want to partner with them on doing some Univision spots. They have some materials to reach the English-speaking community as part of our outreach efforts. We have materials as well, but we're going to work together to put spots on Univision, and then the city would additionally work to convert some of our materials to Punjabi so that we can try to target the majority of the sectors of our population. There's a lot of resources out there right now. The city's website is yubacityh2o.com, where we have water conservation tips and also access to our rebate program. The bewatersmart.info, saveourwater.com, drought.ca.gov, and then drought.gov.state/California. All of these sites have information related to the drought, tips to save water, And then other measures to conserve surface water. Again, I mentioned bringing back online wells 5, 8, 9. We have proposals due, I believe, this Friday for design of a second groundwater well at the water treatment plant. And then also, as I previously mentioned, parks. And in regard to making sure we're taking care of our business first, Parks is evaluating the irrigation of parks irrigated with surface water and the roadway landscape medians, because we do recognize that we have had locations where we have water running into the road, and we do not want to set a bad example for our customers. So a fiscal impact, a reduction in consumption will result in a reduction in revenues. However, the loss of revenues will be offset somewhat by a reduction in expenditures due to less pumping and chemical usage because we're treating less water. Alternatives is council could direct staff to go beyond Governor Newsom's executive order and implement a mandatory conservation target of 15% or greater. And then recommendation, as previously noted in the last presentation, in order to implement the water shortage contingency plan, council needs to adopt a resolution declaring that water supply conditions are such that they dictate and justify the need to do so. With that, I'm happy to answer questions.
Council, any questions for Ms. Langley? Okay. I will make a comment. I took a trip up to Lake Oroville on Saturday, and anyone who doesn't think that we are in a situation of water shortage would do themselves right by taking that same trip and seeing what that lake looks like in July, which is lower than I've ever seen it in probably September or October.
And they're predicting by the end of August it'll be at a level that they can no longer operate the powerhouse that's right there.
So, action from the council.
I move that we adopt the resolution declaring the water supply conditions as such that they dictate, I can't even justify the need for implementation of voluntary conservation measures to achieve 15% conservation, which aligns with the implementation of State 2 of the water shortage contingency plan without the enforcement piece that you were mentioning.
Through the mayor.
It needs to say stage 2.
Thank you. And also an opportunity for public comment.
Thank you. Public, would you like to speak? Please.
I want to be on the record that I don't believe we need this to go over and above that of Governor Newsom's program. And I want to be on the record, too, that executive orders are not American government, okay? We did not elect any person as a king, okay? He doesn't have that authority. We are self-governed in the United States of America. So I want to be on the record, and hey, maybe Bruce Jenner's going to replace Newsom. Yippee!
Thank you, Mr. Burns. Any other comments? How about online?
No comments.
Okay. So I do have a motion.
Yes, I continue with my motion.
Second.
Okay, have a motion by Councilperson Espandola, second by Councilperson Kirchner. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, item 24 passes.